Success is a mindset, not a mansion. Too many people waking up every day chasing things they can see, but neglecting the things that actually build who they are. They think if they can just get the house, if they can just get the car, if they can just get that corner office or wear the designer labels, they've made it. But what they don't understand is that success doesn't start in your wallet. It starts in your mind. It starts in your decisions. It starts in that daily discipline when nobody's watching, when nobody's clapping for you, when nobody's giving you likes or comments or standing ovations. It starts when you say, I don't care what it looks like on the outside, I'm grinding from the inside. You see, the mansion is the result. It's not the source. The true mansion is built inside of you first. Before you build a mansion with bricks, you gotta build one with beliefs. You gotta believe you're worth it. You gotta believe you're capable. You gotta believe that even though your bank account might be empty, your potential is full. That even though you come from struggle, your story still has power. Success comes when your mindset is stronger than your excuses. When your hunger to grow is louder than your fear to fail. When your vision of who you're becoming is more important than the pain of who you've been. You think the mansion is impressive? Try waking up at 4 a.m. every day to pursue your dream. Try staying consistent when life hits you with loss, betrayal, heartbreak. Try sacrificing your comfort to chase your calling. That's success. That's power. That's what makes people unstoppable. Not money, not status, not stuff, but mindset. Some people got millions in their account and poverty in their mind. They don't believe in themselves, so they hide behind the material. But you don't need that. You've got something greater. You've got vision, you've got passion, you've got purpose. And those things can't be bought. They gotta be built. It's not about how much you've got. It's about how much you're willing to give. Give effort. Give energy. Give your all to something that matters. You don't need a mansion to be valuable. You don't need applause to be impactful. All you need is to wake up with the mindset that you were born for more. You weren't made to just survive. You were made to succeed with or without the shine. And the ones who truly win, they're not the ones with the flash. They're the ones with the fire. The fire to stay focused. The fire to stay humble. The fire to stay hungry. That's the real flex. Not what's parked in your driveway, but what's driving you from the inside. That's what separates those who talk from those who do. That's what turns dreams into destiny. That's what builds greatness. Not in buildings, not in brands, but in belief. Everybody wants the bag. Everybody wants the 6-figure check, the 7-figure lifestyle, the 8-figure brand deal. But let me tell you something. They chase the paycheck and still feel empty. They hit the number but miss the purpose, because real fulfillment doesn't come from what you earn. It comes from what you're called to do. When you live with purpose, every step you take is powerful, even if it doesn't pay at first, even if nobody sees you, even if it doesn't look glamorous. Purpose will get you out of bed at 4 a.m. when the paycheck wouldn't even make you blink. Purpose will keep you locked in when everybody else gives up because they were only in it for the reward. Purpose is the fuel that keeps you running when success takes longer than expected. You see, when you live for a paycheck, you'll stop when it's not profitable. But when you live for purpose, you'll keep going, even when it costs you. You'll sacrifice comfort, you'll walk away from distractions, you'll endure the process, because the mission means more than the money. That's why people who chase checks burn out, but people who chase purpose, they rise, they evolve, they inspire, because it's not about the digits in your account. It's about the difference you make in the world. That's the real currency. Impact, legacy, influence, purpose. I've seen people making millions but miserable because their soul ain't in what they do. And I've seen people with just enough to get by, but they're smiling, glowing, alive, because they're walking in alignment with why they were put here. Purpose has a way of making you powerful even when you're broke. Purpose keeps you grinding when the outcome is uncertain. Purpose is what keeps you showing up even after failure, even after rejection, even after loss, because you know deep down this is bigger than you. And when you get that, When you understand that your why is stronger than your what. That's when your hustle changes. That's when your grind gets dangerous. That's when life starts opening doors money could never unlock. You gotta stop chasing the check and start chasing the calling. Because when you're in purpose, the right people find you, the right opportunities find you, the right timing unfolds, you attract what you're aligned with. And if you're aligned with your assignment, you become unstoppable. Don't sell your soul for a salary. Don't trade your gift for a quick fix. You weren't made to just work a job, you were made to work a mission. And when you step into that calling, that divine assignment, you'll realize success was never about the numbers. It was about becoming the person you were born to be. That's when life changes. That's when the grind gets deeper. That's when you stop counting dollars and start counting impact. You want to know what separates the great from the average? It's not talent. It's not money. It's not followers or likes. It's character. Because character is the currency of champions. You can fake a lot of things in this world, but you can't fake integrity. You can't fake discipline. You can't fake consistency when the lights are off and the pressure's on. That's when your true worth shows up, not in what you have, but in who you are. Anybody can rent success for a moment, but only those with character can sustain it. You can hustle your way into a room, but it's character that keeps you there. You see, character shows up when you keep your word, even when it costs you. When you stay loyal to your vision, even when shortcuts look tempting. When you choose honesty, even when lies seem more profitable. When you grind with excellence, not just when someone's watching, but because that's who you are. That's what champions do. They don't just talk it, they walk it. They don't need to be pushed, they're driven by their own standards. They don't just rise in moments of glory, they rise in moments of silence, struggle, and solitude. People out here chasing clout, but clout fades, hype fades, headlines fade. What doesn't fade is character. Character is what people remember when your success is old news. It's what your kids will talk about long after you're gone. It's what builds trust, influence, and legacy. It's the reason people follow you, respect you, and believe in you, not because of your success, but because of your substance. Anybody can make money, but not everybody can make a difference. Anybody can look successful, but not everybody can be solid. When storms come, and trust me, they will, it's not your money that holds you up, it's your mindset. It's not your clothes, it's your commitment. It's not your trophies, it's your truth. Champions know that who they are when things go wrong matters more than who they are when everything's going right. That's why you gotta build your foundation on character, not popularity, not perks, not possessions, but on principles that don't shake when the world does. You want to be great. Start with your habits. Start with your honesty. Start with your humility, because your real value isn't in your image, it's in your integrity. Build your character like you build your brand. Protect your values like you protect your vision. Show up with the same energy in private as you do in public. That's how legends are made. Not with flash, but with faithfulness. Not with noise, but with substance. Not with hype, but with heart. Character is the hidden strength that turns struggle into stamina, failure into fuel, and pressure into purpose. You can buy followers, you can buy views, you can buy attention, but you can't buy passion. Passion ain't something you order online. Passion is earned in the fire, it's built in the dark. It's forged through failure, rejection, and late nights when you're grinding while everybody else is sleeping. Passion is what shows up when there's no check, no applause, no spotlight. Just the deep, burning desire to become who you were created to be. Passion is the difference between people who quit and people who rise. You can't fake it. You can't rent it. You can't borrow it from someone else. You either got it or you don't. And if you don't, you better be ready to bleed until you do. You want to be great. You want to leave a mark. Then you gotta want it so bad it hurts. You gotta wake up with it, go to bed with it, obsess over it, live and breathe it, because passion doesn't wait for permission. It doesn't make excuses. It doesn't care about your past or your pain. It's focused on your purpose. Passion will have you studying when others are partying. Passion will have you failing and trying again like it's day one. Passion will push you when motivation disappears, because motivation is momentary, but passion is permanent. Passion is what turns amateurs into professionals. It's what separates dreamers from doers. It's the thing that makes average people produce extraordinary results. You don't need to be the most talented. You don't need to come from money. You don't need all the connections. But if you have passion, if you have that fire inside of you that refuses to die, you are dangerous, because passion multiplies your potential. It sharpens your skill. It attracts opportunity. And most of all, it gives your life meaning. Passion isn't about hype, it's about heart. It's about being so locked into your mission that you can't be distracted. So committed that quitting isn't even an option. So focused that fear can't find a home in your mind. And here's the truth. Passion comes with pain, but it's worth it, because the pain refines you, the setbacks shape you. The struggle teaches you what surface-level ambition never could. People out here looking for a shortcut to success, but there is no shortcut to greatness. There is only the long road paved with sweat, sacrifice, and deep, soul-driven passion. When you bleed for it, you own it. When you fight for it, you value it. When you love it enough to suffer for it, that's when it starts to work for you. That's when the results start chasing you. That's when your name becomes a force. Not because you had it easy, but because you never gave up. You kept going when it hurt. You kept believing when it looked impossible. You kept showing up, not because you had to, but because the fire in your chest wouldn't let you stop. Everybody wants the gold, the spotlight, the trophy, the accolades, the reward. But they don't realize that the grind is greater than the gold. The process is more powerful than the prize, because it's not the achievement that makes you great. It's what you become on the way there. The grind molds you. The grind humbles you. The grind sharpens you. You can't skip it. You can't cheat it. You can't fake it. You either show up and put in the work, or you stay average and watch somebody else do it. People want the result, but they don't want the repetition. They want the outcome, but not the outworking. But what makes champions? It's not the gold medal. It's the thousands of hours nobody saw. It's the early mornings when you wanted to sleep. The late nights when your body said rest, but your vision said grind. That's where real success is born, in the trenches, in the pain, in the quiet consistency when no one is clapping. The grind teaches you what no victory ever could. Because the grind demands sacrifice, it exposes your limits, then it dares you to break them. The gold might get you recognition, but the grind earns you respect. The grind reveals your hunger. It shows whether you're serious or just curious. Whether you're driven or just dabbling. See, anybody can want success. That's easy, but few are willing to work for it. Relentlessly, fearlessly, without shortcuts, without excuses. The grind doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't care if life threw you a curveball. The grind only responds to commitment. You gotta fall in love with the process, not the praise. You gotta value the struggle, because that's where your strength is developed. That's where your faith is tested. That's where your purpose is refined. The grind gives you something the gold never can: ownership. Because when you grind for it, when you suffer for it, when you give everything to it, that win is yours. Not rented, not gifted, earned, and nobody can take that away from you. Don't let the glamour of the gold distract you from the growth in the grind. The gold might shine, but it fades. The grind stays with you. It becomes your foundation. It becomes your story. People might see the success, but God sees the sacrifice. He sees the tears, the sweat, the moments you felt like quitting but chose to keep going. That's what builds character. That's what produces power. That's what unlocks a level of greatness that money can't touch. So don't chase the gold. Chase the grind, live in it, own it, respect it. Because that grind will take you places trophies never could. Luxury fades, styles change, cars break down, phones get old. Watches lose their shine, but legacy is forever. It outlives the trends, it outlives the hype. Legacy is what people remember when you're gone. It's the impact, the values, the lessons, the love, the purpose you leave behind. And too many people are wasting their lives chasing luxury, things they can touch, while ignoring the things that touch lives. They're building closets full of designer clothes but living with empty purpose. They're focused on what they have instead of who they are. But greatness isn't found in possessions. It's found in principles. You want to be rich. That's cool, but be rich in discipline, be rich in impact, be rich in character. Because no one will remember the brand of your shoes, but they'll remember how you made them feel. No one will care about your square footage, but they'll carry your words, your actions, your energy for the rest of their life. Legacy ain't about being famous. It's about being faithful. Faithful to your calling. Faithful to your family. Faithful to your grind even when it's thankless. Because luxury says, look at me. But legacy says, I did this for you. You gotta shift your focus. The world will tell you success is about stacking, about shining, about proving people wrong. But real success, it's about lifting, it's about serving, it's about creating something that lives on long after the applause ends. You can buy a house, but you can't buy a home. You can buy a ring, but you can't buy love. You can buy attention, but you can't buy respect. And the truth is, people don't rise because of what they own. They rise because of what they gave. They rise because they showed up, stood tall, and stayed real when the world wanted them to fold. Legacy is built in the choices you make every day, the hard ones, the ones where you choose discipline over ease, integrity over popularity, faith over fear. Every time you pour into someone else, every time you show up when it's inconvenient, every time you push through the pain with purpose. You're writing your legacy, not in ink, not in headlines, but in the hearts of people you touch. That's the real win. That's the kind of wealth money can't measure. So stop chasing temporary. Stop chasing trophies that collect dust. Build something eternal. Build something that moves lives. Build something your kids will be proud to carry forward. Build a legacy that speaks louder than your lifestyle. Let the world see that your value was never in what you owned. It was in what you stood for, that you were more than the car, the chain, the accolades, that you were purpose in motion, impact in action, greatness in human form. Because in the end, it's not the luxury you leave behind. It's the legacy that tells your real story.